Hi guys, I think I'm live. Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Will. I'm just checking my dashboard here and it looks like I'm live. Thanks for tuning in. As the title suggests, this is going to be a walkthrough on how to build a Telegram bot server using C#.net. I'm going to actually be using UWP for the front end. However, the front end is going to be very minimalistic. It's only going to contain a password box to enter my bot token with a button, which I've already designed ahead of time, a button such that when I click, it establishes a connection with the Telegram bot API, and I can then connect to my bot on the Telegram client side of things to interact with users who are chatting to my bot. So without much further ado, I'm going to get straight into this. A couple things. So I did make a couple videos in this vein, in a very similar vein, about Telegram bots, Telegram botting, and designing Telegram bots servers using C#. However, I want to update my videos as I think the content can be updated such that we are now on, well, for the particular API that I use, version 19.0.0, the previous version being 18.0.0, and I don't feel like the guide I recorded last was very comprehensive or too comprehensive, so it's going to be a lot more comprehensive. And in contrast to my last tutorial covering Telegram bot server building, I'm actually going to start from a blank UWP. I'm not going to have the code already there. I think I don't know why, but I feel like for active recall or just to remember how things are going, it's better to see me typing as I go along, and it's better for me to explain what's happening rather than me seeing the code already there. I think this would be more interesting. So what is the objective of this particular walkthrough? It's going to be a very simple, fundamental look on how to establish a bot connection with our Telegram bots. We're going to build the server using UWP, and what I aim to do is to intercept messages from myself talking to my bot, and then I can speak to the bot in order to process a certain kind of answer, kind of like a customer journey. And for that bit of processing to let's say if the bot says to me, hello, I don't know, what would I like to order? Trainers, which are shoes. Here in the UK, we call sneakers trainers, or basketballs. And I might speak to my bot and I might say basketballs. And then the bot will then reply saying, great, here are a list of basketballs. So I want to kind of create that on the server side of things. So first things first, what I want to do is go over what you'll need in order to follow along with this tutorial. I'm going to go on, for starters, I'm using Visual Studio 2022, but I believe any version of Visual Studio that supports Universal Windows Platform is 2015 and above. I want to say it could be 2017, but I think 2015 supports the UWP platform. But there's no reason why you shouldn't be on 2022. To be honest, it's available. The Community Edition is free, available on the Microsoft website. So you want a copy of Visual Studio Community Edition. You don't have to pay anything for that. In terms of the API we're going to be using, I'm going to hit Tools. I'm going to go to NuGet Package Manager. I'm going to go to Manage NuGet Packages for Solution. I'm going to have a sip of my tea while I wait. Oh, also guys, if the stream just cuts off randomly, it's very likely my laptop just like the battery lost charge. My setup is a little bit awkward, but there's a chance that my battery might just like give out. In which case, I will try my best to be up and running as quick as possible. So I'll show you my installed packages. All you really should need, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully we won't need any more libraries, is this telegram.bot by Round Robin Pollard and Tuscan. I really hope I'm saying that right. Apologies if I'm not. And this is version 19.0.0. So I'm going to go on browse. I'm just going to type what I typed earlier. My computer might be a little bit slow. Do forgive me. Telegram bot. I'm going to hit enter. No need for me to try and install this again, but just to show you guys, here you can see at the very top, telegram.bot. You're going to want this one here to follow along with this tutorial. As you can see, there's a thumbnail, there's the green tick saying that I've already installed it. We're not going to really need this Telegram bot extensions polling, because this API actually contains extension polling libraries, which we will need for this particular tutorial. So this should be all that we need. I have notes off screen, code notes, so hopefully we can do this all in generally one go. Alright, awesome stuff. So first things first, what I want to do is make a class I'm going to right click my project. I'm going to hit add. And do tell me if it's hard to read anything. I can zoom in, but I think it should be enough right now because I'm streaming in HD technically. And I zoomed in a little bit, but if it's still hard to read, let me know. I'll be checking the comments every now and then. New folder. Let's call it bot server, like this. I'm going to right click my bot server folder, my namespace. I'm going to add a new class. Excellent. And let's say, I can say something like bot connect. Yeah, bot connect.cs. Make my file. Okay, I'm going to wait for that to happen. I'm going to just quickly hop off screen to see what's going on. Excellent stuff. So just waiting for my class to be produced. This might take a hot minute. My laptop is not the fastest. I really hope nothing crashes, but I do believe that this should load any second now. Here we go. Sweetness. First things first, what I want to do is make my class public so that I can access it across the scope of my project. So I'm going to hit public, I'm going to write public class bot connect. And in this class is where all my main functionality is going to go for my bot server. So what I would like to do is to first kind of just give you a heads up. I'm going to start from the top to the bottom, more or less. So I'm going to set all my members that I need and then my functions. So at the beginning of this tutorial, you may not understand what all the fields and possible properties are doing. But as I go along and I'm creating the functions, hopefully it makes more sense and I'll be explaining what happens. But for now, kind of take it for as it is because I'm just typing it straight off and I'm looking at my notes as well. So let's start with the fields. So we're going to need a few things here. I'm going to go ahead and go private static. We want to work in a static context, more or less, because in my opinion, and the reason I went for this choice is that we don't have to deal with like instantiation issues per se on the server side of things over here on our Telegram bot server on our for our .NET. If we're making all these instantiations, let's say you instantiate a session and you instantiate another session and you're not really aware of what you're doing in that respect, then you have two separate sessions, two instantiations of say the bot client, and that might mess things up. But if you're working in a static context, I just feel like it's a more safe environment for some of these members, such that we don't deal with like instantiation mix-ups and things like that. So I think a few of my members are going to be static for that reason. I'm just going to quickly scroll on my notes to just check something. It's going to be a pretty chilled stream. Do feel free to stop me to ask questions if you are following through this tutorial and things are not working for you. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. So we're gonna make not a list. Telegram. I do suspect this tutorial will take a little longer than my recent tutorials, because I am really writing things from scratch, and this is a coding one. Default update handler. So we're going to declare this default update handler. Call it update handler. Like this. I'm going to forego the comments, so I'm not going to write the comments in for now, just to save time, otherwise we'll be here for a long time. But I'll try and explain things as I go. So in my notes, I've written that I'm declaring an update handler an implementation of its respective interface. Not too sure what I meant by that, but I think this is necessary for when we deal with updates through the Telegram bot client, and it will make sense as I utilize it later on in this tutorial. So next, I'm going to go ahead and make a private static telegram.bot.polling. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Telegram bot Telegram bot client. And this is going to be, we're going to name this update request. This is going to be quite an important class. Update request, as we're going to need this to, if I'm not mistaken, to establish our entire session itself. So this class is quite important. So I've named it update request. Make sure I'm on the right line here on my notes. So we're going to deal with some I don't know if I should say func types. You'll see what I mean in a second. So I've got a private func, which with these funcs, it's quite funny to say, they sort of encapsulate functions as variables. So this is going to be quite handy in the kind of setup of our server. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cast the type of this particular variable as a telegram.bot iTelegram bot client. And the thing about this, you can have multiple types listed here. So I'm going to also say telegram bot, oops, spell bot correctly, bot types updates. I'm gonna have system. Really hoping my laptop doesn't just die on me. Excuse me. Sorry guys. System dot threading. I might need some namespaces. I might have missed some out, but so far so good. Threading cancellation token, which is quite good for if I believe if we want to like cancel any operations. Cancellation token and then task. We'll be relying on this kind of task, should I say paradigm, quite a lot for this particular server. Okay, where are we? I'm gonna call this update method, and I'm gonna assign it to update received. Now, update received is actually a function that we haven't created yet. So this is actually a function that's being encapsulated by this member. So this is why we're getting an error right now. So I'm gonna eventually, once I'm done with all these field declarations and some might be instantiations, I'm going to be actually utilizing them and making the functions. That's why this is an error so far. So maybe a little comment at the top. So types to encapsulate methods as variables. Let me do it like that. I'll make another comment here. Declare. So I'm basically declaring update handler and update request, and these two members are fundamental members to establish bot connection. Well, you're going to see how we use this later. Alright, let's continue with this. I'm going to make some space down here. Okay. Let's make another func type. So private func. So this should be quite useful for any of you guys that are trying to migrate from the older Telegram APIs, and you might have been having trouble with version 19. I know I did, but then with a lot of experimentation and just going and consistency, I was able to figure out how to get this particular version working. So yeah, hopefully you can all benefit if you're in my position, or if you were in a similar position to what I was in with respect to Telegram bots API version 19.0.0. Okay, so func, we're gonna cast a type telegram.bots. We're gonna declare this type .iTelegram bots clients. This is gonna be a little bit different, so we're gonna call API request event args. We're gonna put that there. We're going to also pass, let me just check my notes, system.threading.cancellation token. There we go, right there. Where am I? Cancellation token. And then we're going to put in value task. I think it's a capital V. As such, right there. And then this is going to be, I'm going to call this on making API request. I'm going to assign its value towards a function that I will later create called on API response received. Like this. So again, we're going to get a couple errors, but that's fine for now because we haven't actually created these methods per se. Fine. Okay, cool. Got a few more to go. It's quite a few. So what I'll do, I'm torn in between just kind of writing it in. There will be times I will just copy and paste from my notes to save time, but at this beginning stage, I am going to write it in. So let's continue, guys. Try and keep the pace up. So that was on making API requests. I think, where was I? API response. Okay, so now we're going to deal with the error. Error occurred. So every time we have an error, we can rely on this encapsulation. So private func telegram bot telegram client exception. Make sure that comes up. Yep, there it is. Then we've got system, I think it's cancellation token again. Threading cancellation token. And we're going to pass task. And then we're going to call this functionality error method. And we're going to assign it to a method that we'll later call error occurred. So anytime there's some kind of like API error or some error with our code pertaining towards the structure of what we have done with the API, then we can handle it using this particular functionality. Let me just correct that error. I want to put a capital O. Alright, sweet. So let's go to some other members. I'm going to try and write this in as quick as possible. Oops. I think I'm going to be dealing with I hope I can spell it right, anonymous. I don't know if I spelled that wrong. I know I spelled that wrong, I can tell. Anonymous functions. I'm just going to say encapsulate for now. I'll try and leave links to resources on some of these concepts, such that you can read them on msdn/learnmicrosoft.com, which is my go-to for resources. So you want to make a update type class, which you can find under Telegram bot types updates. I'm going to call this chat update. Now I do disclaim that some of my code might be sort of, should I say, messy, but again, I want to just get the core functionality working, and I will do my best to keep it as neat as possible. But I am prioritizing just getting this server working, but the code may be a little bit messy as a result. So we've got chat update, which we'll need every time our Telegram bot client updates via our bot chat. Private static action API response action. We're going to pass this, I think this is an anonymous functionality, API updates, update request. Let me just do that properly. Like this. Or this might be Lambda stuff, I'm not 100% sure. It's been a little minute since I dealt with some of this stuff. So I may look at MSDN just to refresh my memory after I've done this. Static. There's a few more to go, guys. Update API request. Private static action. Oh, I actually got that wrong. That should be action, I think. Wrote that wrong. Action API request action again. Just correct. Oh, API request, API response. Yeah, that's correct. So they're both different, of course. And then you tripped up. I'm gonna say API request update request. Now that I'm looking at this, if I'm passing update request twice, I might be getting more. This might be because off screen I was getting multiple API calls, like at least two. It might be to do with this, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll get to that. Again, the code might be a little messy, but on another pass we can clean things up if we want to. static action update action. Oops. Where am I? Update chat. Update action. Update chat. I'm gonna pass update request chat update for these arguments. I keep getting this wrong, so it's action like this. Again, these functions I haven't written yet, hence why we're getting these errors. I think I got that one wrong. Chat update, API update, API request action. I should say API request like this. API update request. Yep, that's all good. Okay, just scrolling through my notes. Private static. So this is kind of the boring stuff that we just have to get through. Error action. Private static action. Error action. Gonna keep that there. We're gonna have a private static exception. Chat exception. This kind of falls into error handling. Private int. Now this one we might not need this member in this particular tutorial, but I'm gonna write this anyway because it's in my notes. Update offset equals 0. Alright, private int offset limits is equal to 20. I don't think we need date time, but I'm gonna write it anyway because it's in my notes. Public date time offset current time. Don't even know if remember if I have the right namespace to. Yeah, I got it here. It's under the system namespace. Okay. Alright guys, there's a bunch of members. I'm gonna copy it all in because the time it will take to type it all in is a little bit of a stretch. So I'll give you a minute to have a look at this. These are other members we'll need. Not too sure about the one at the top. I think that's kind of superfluous, but again, this is just here. I'm missing a namespace for my dispatcher timer. I don't think we need this payments one. I'm not going over payments. So I'm gonna actually comment that one out. Dispatcher timer. What is the namespace for dispatcher timer? Let me see. I think it's threading.task or threading. I think it's threading.tasks. Grab that. Oh, it's not. Oh, so it must be system threading. System.threading. I think. Where's my dispatcher? Oh, I'm missing a reference. Where is it? Threading tasks. Sorry guys, 1 second. Just checking my notes for this. I'm gonna check MSDN if I can't figure this one out. It's really strange. Just gonna go off screen and have a look. Okay, so I'm gonna just check what namespace that is. I use dispatcher timer a lot, but I have actually forgotten the namespace. I really thought it was system.threading. I'm really surprised it's not coming through. I'm gonna just pull my browser up here in a minute, guys. Let me just quickly go to Google. Waiting for my browser. Just taking a minute. Really surprised about that. Anyway. Browser just loading. Off screen. guys. Okay, my browser just about caught up with me now. So I'm gonna quickly type what I need. I'm gonna pull it up on screen. UWP dispatcher timer. And the reason we need the dispatcher timer is because that was interesting. Because what I'm doing, I'm using it to essentially like kind of poll the server in essence, using the timer itself. I'm not really relying on anything the class is providing, which I probably can do, but I'm choosing to poll my server using a timer at set intervals. That's why I need the dispatcher timer. Oh, the namespace is Windows UI XAML. Okay, that's different to what I thought. I'm not going to pull it up on screen, the browser, because it's going to take too much time. So I'll just put it in straight. So Windows UI.xaml, like this, and that should sort out my error. I hope. Where's my dispatcher timer? Yeah, excellent, we got it here. Dispatcher timer is here. Okay, so guys, sorry about that. Let me give you a minute to have a look at this if you're following in this live stream. We won't need this main page reference, I think, but I don't want to leave it here. I'm gonna comment out because I don't think we need this. I think that was just for UI stuff I did in my example project. So we have this variable, which is just a string, which you don't really need to worry about too much. Message buffer, this is for if you start to program your server. You want to, I have a cancellation token here declared. Telegram bot types enums, update types, message update enum, which you kind of use if you want to create an enumerable list or collection rather of updates. You may or may not need that depending on the simplicity or the complexity of your server. Obviously you want your Stripe API token, you want to probably store that as a string, but obviously security, so there's different ways you can, apply security for your API token. This is just a welcome message I had, so I don't really need that. I'm going to delete. Polling clock, I'm going to instantiate my dispatcher timer polling clock. I'm going to copy it, which I don't think I need to, but I'll do it anyway. Update list, so I can store my updates in a list. Update array, this is going to be quite necessary as well. Task updates, we're going to need that. And update delegate, which is going to be quite important. I've called this update delegate, but I don't even know if there's a delegate type. Oh yeah, the func itself. And we're passing update from API. It will make more sense as I make the function. Have a chat ID list. Demo mode false, probably for some kind of like Boolean flag check I was doing, which I may or may not need for the simplicity of this tutorial. Bot library, I was using a library, a UWP class library, but I'm not using that right now. I'm doing it all in the UWP session, so I'm just going to cancel that one out. Offset and message index, may or may not need these, but again, if you want to follow one-to-one with this tutorial, feel free to add all of those there, okay? And you can always rewind the video if you want to see it. So let's move on from where we are right now rather. Let me go back to my notes off screen. And let's continue the tutorial. Finally, so that takes care of all the declarations. So now we're going to go straight to the bot server. I say bot server, I actually meant to say the constructor, which is named in my notes bot server, but I think my class here is called bot connect. So I'm going to say public bot connect and create my constructor. And all we're going to really do here is just instantiate the polling clock. So I'm going to say something like polling clock tick. We're going to set an interval for this. But first, let's create the event handler. So polling clock.tick equals, plus equals new event handler objects. So type object, we're gonna pass that. And the method we want to invoke every time our clock ticks is a method we're gonna make later called update underscore tick. Like this. Okie dokie. And let's set the interval for our clock. So polling clock.interval equals new time span, which is the unit of time we're going to be dealing with. And I'm going to set it to every, I think, 1,000 milliseconds, which is like effectively 1 second. Let's see. Oops. 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, milliseconds. I'm going to actually make it 100. Makes more sense. Because if we want to do 1,000, we can just go straight to seconds. And then on construction of this class, I want to start my polling clock. But is that a good idea? Yeah, it is, because I'm instantiating this entire class at the UI level, so I don't have to worry about conflicts in timing. I was worried. So polling clock.start on construction of the class. Now we're gonna get updates, which we made earlier. So this is a field, as you can see there, updates. It's assigned a new task. Okay. And we're gonna pass some parameters. So what is this task looking for? An action type. Okay, so we've already made those. So what we're gonna pass is update action and our cancellation token. Okay. Just gonna wait for our visual to catch up. Excellent, that's all gone through. Okay, just a couple properties I have in my notes. You could work with fields, but for some reason I opted to work with some properties. Again, I might be overcomplicating this a little bit, so let's just run with this. So public static telegram dot bots dot types, dot update, and all this is doing is exposing my private field, right? So update chat update. The core concept behind a property is to expose private fields, and you can even it's kind of a in between a function and a field in a sense. What properties are quite handy. So I have a getter. So I'm going to return some functionality here. So I'm going to return rather my member, my chat exception. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It's actually chat update. And for my set section, what am I writing? Chat update is assigned value. There you go. Excellent stuff. Checking what I've got there. Sure, but we will come back to that. Oh, it's gone now. Good. I wasn't sure what was going on there. Okay, sweet. And we've got one more. I'm going to copy and paste this one for speed, just from my notes. It's the same concept. It's another property, just for exceptions. So I've got public static exception, chat exception. I'm exposing my field up there, which is chat exception, which I have at the top. I'll just quickly hover to that. As you can see, chat exception already made. So things are starting to come together now. And chat exception assigned value for the setter. Okay, we're almost going to start making some functions. So now I don't know if we need these, but it's in my notes, so I'm gonna just roll with it. Func passing update array. Oh, I did that wrong. Update. I'm passing it as an array. Not highlighting anyway. Update delegate. Okay, not too sure if I need this, but let's see. Update delegate. I think I'm passing my delegate essentially, so I probably will need it. But it looks like a property as well. Some get setter going on there. Okay, these are just properties. Yeah, these are just properties, just the way I've done them. It looks weird. I thought it was something else, but we need it then. So get, let me keep it as I've done it with the formatting. It's just easier for me to read. So get update delegate set update delegate is assigned value. Oops, spelled value wrong. This. Ooh. I'm going to come back to why that's flagging me an error. Public func update. Yeah, definitely I'm questioning my notes right now. Let me just quickly see if I'm using this in my notes. Because this one's called update delegate 1. I'm actually using that? If I'm not, I don't need to include it. I have another update delegate with number 1 at the front, so I don't think I need that. I don't think I'm using it for my update delegate tick. Okay, cool. Not too sure. Let's just roll with it. So I don't think I need anything here. Let's just see what's going on. Update cannot be. I think that's because I'm missing my namespaces at the top. So it doesn't know that I mean from this class. I'm not too sure. Might be under types. Update, yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Excellent. Awesome. Let me quickly check my dashboard. Okay, excellent stuff. Awesome, let's continue. Functions. Let's create some methods. Probably one of the most important methods we're going to create now is our establish bot connection. So I'm going to go ahead and write public void. There's no return type for this, so we're going to hit void. Establish bot connection. And it's going to take as a parameter a string. And as you might guess, this string is our bot token. There we go. Got a capital E there. Establish bot connection. Excellent stuff. Bring that in. Okay, this is quite lengthy. I will copy and paste my notes and just explain what's going on. For speed, I don't even know how I'm doing for time. I want to keep the stream for like an hour or so. I don't really want to go higher than like an hour and a half plus. Double check my timing. We're doing right, just under 40 minutes. Alright, sweet. Update list. So you want to include these members. You want to instantiate your update list, which I think is a field we made up here. Want to instantiate our update list, as you can see. And also instantiate your update array, which I've given it a dimension of 100. As you can see here, these are both fields that we declared at the start of this tutorial. Now this is really important, this next line, as you can about to see. This establishes a connection to the client, so update request, which again is a field we created earlier. As you can see, iTelegram bot client type, and we named it update request. We're instantiating it, and what it accepts, as you can see here from the description in IntelliSense, a string token, HTTP client class, and that's it. So we're going to pass our bot token, so we have the argument here. Then we're going to pass a new system.net.http.http client. We're going to construct this particular class, which the namespace is a system namespace, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, I'm just going to kind of block, copy, and paste these in from my own notes. I think this is quite a good approach for now for this particular functionality. Now, you want to set your action members. So I've gone ahead, so again, we've dealt with these at the top. Now, this might be superfluous what I'm doing, because if you observe API response action assigned, and then this kind of like lambda stuff, API update request. If I go back, it's essentially doing the same thing, I think. So this might be superfluous what I'm doing with this piece of code. So just bear with me, guys. Things will make sense. I might be just repeating myself here. It might not be necessary. Again, these functions we're going to create, that's what we're getting errors right now. But I don't want to deviate from my notes too much. Okay, now next block of code we're going to need. I'm going to delete this comment, we don't need it. So I'm setting up the event handling for updates array. So update event handler, I'm instantiating that. And then update handler, we're going to access this particular class, or actually it's a function, called handle update async. It's quite important, you're going to need this. And what are you passing? You're passing update request, chat update, the property that we made. So I'll just zoom to it now. This is the property we just made, chat update. I'm going to pass that as a second argument, and our cancellation token, you only need the field. So as you see, we declared the cancellation token up there. So you want to pass that. Default event handler, is that not being found? Ooh, we might need to declare a namespace. Default update handler. Let me see, where's that actually supposed to be? Telegram, actually, you know what? Whoops. I always get scared when I control A everything on accident. So I'm going to just pass some namespaces up here. Telegram.org, polling. Telegram.org, polling. Let me see what I need. I'm going to just copy those in. So I'm just updating this. And I'm going to see if that sorted out my error. Default update handler. Yeah, so what was that under? I'm not even sure. So this default update handler, make sure you add the correct namespace, which it was one of these, either Telegram, Telegram.org, Telegram bot, or Telegram.polling. I'm actually not 100% sure which one it is, but as long as you have the right one, which is one of these, you'll be fine. Okay, again, these methods are just flagging up. We don't need to worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to continue. I'm going to scroll down my notes. Let me just keep going down there. Where was I? Establish bot connection. Setting up the event handling for updates raised. Excellent. Let me get the whole lot of this function next, just to save time, and I'll try and explain what I can. Alright, sweet. So we were here. We just did this. So now what you want to do, as you can see in line 113, you want to instantiate chat update as a new update. Yeah, you want to do that. You want to set message update IEnum. If you're going to store your updates in a list, or rather a collection, then you're going to want this list instantiated. Maybe you want to store your sessions or your updates, so you can have that handy. Here, you want to store your your updates in like an enumerable collection that you can enumerate through, if that kind of makes sense, or you can sort of sort through. Then this will be handy for that. What's the time? Yeah, definitely have to keep the time. Then we got this update request on API response received. This is an event, occurs after receiving the response to an API. You want to go ahead and plus equals that. Async event handler, API response event args. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you want this code like just available. I'll either put it on my GitHub repo, or I will put the file on one of my websites on like, I make a dedicated page for like courses or like tutorials on one of my web pages. So just let me know in the comments if that's what you want, because I do appreciate it. It's quite hard to follow through these tutorials sometimes, especially in real time. So do let me know if that's something you want. I can definitely look into that. Alright, sweet. Then you want to go ahead and sort this out, as you can see. And now this is where a lot of the magic happens. You want to make sure you call start receiving to start receiving updates, and this is, you get this method from update request. You want to get update async as well. You want to call this method, and you want to receive async as well. What does it say? A task that will be, that's just for the return type. I'll read what each of these do. So this method does not block. Get updates will be called after the iUpdate handler, handle update async, and it starts receiving updates on the thread pool, invoking iUpdate handler. Okay, so that's necessary. Getting update async uses method to receive incoming updates using long polling, but then again, we're not really utilizing the long polling functionality of our class, but it's good to have it set up as a kind of future proof, right? And then receive async. So this is to start receiving updates on the thread pool also, so you want that too. Message buffer, doesn't look like I need this. This is just for the sake of debugging, so I don't think I need this one. It's a function I have yet to make, I think. Okay, API update. We're gonna make another function here. So I'm gonna go ahead, public static void. So we're kind of still working in a static context, although our class is non-static. API update. And we're going to go ahead and pass some arguments. Telegram bot client, and we're going to name it Telegram bot client args. Like this. So you want to establish this function, and what I did is I wrote update list is assigned Telegram bot client. So this is my argument, my parameter at the top. And I'm going to access a function, get updates async, should be here somewhere. I'm going to pass some parameters here, so 0, 0, 0, null, and then cancellation token, which we made earlier in the field level. So remember, all this tutorial works with version 19.0.0. So yeah, I don't know if this will work with 18.0.0. It's quite similar, but there might be some differences. So definitely stick to 19.0.0 if you're following through this tutorial. Okay. Okay, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Okay, this function I'm gonna just copy in for my notes. It's not being used, but it can be used in debug mode such that you can follow the trace and see what you can do when this function is being called. But for now, it holds no functionality in particular. But as you can see, there are two references because these were functions we were passing via expressions that encapsulate these functions as members. So we can pass them around our class quite conveniently. All right. Again, this I'm not going to type this all in because there's no real inherent functionality to worry about. Again, you can use update chat for your debugging purposes. This is actually commented code, so I'm going to get rid of that so as to not confuse anyone. I have a try catch there. I think this is when I was experimenting with stuff. Okay, alright, sweet. Where am I? On make an API request. Okay, I'm just making sure I'm following through my notes properly. Okay, cool, I'm getting there. So we're getting to the meat and potatoes of this. Update chat. What comes after update chat in my notes? You want to make another function. There's a private async static. I've just copied it in. So private async static system.threading.task.valuetask.onMakingAPI request. And we have quite a few arguments, just 3 or 4 actually. Telegram bot client, API request event args, and our cancellation token. And we're gonna put some functionality here. Okay, let me see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to call a using block. And I'm going to say task. Oops, got that wrong there. And I'm going to assign task to new task. I'm going to instantiate this task. I'm going to pass API request action. As you can see, 1, 2, 1, that's fine. And then I'm going to say API request like this. I'm going to pass API request, and the member is going to be, let me just quickly see this. Did I make this function yet? Ooh, that's not correct. get rid of that colon, you don't need that. And then update request, like that. Okay, that's cool. Semicolon. I'm going to say API, I'm going to call this member, which is actually encapsulating a function. So it's API request action, just going to call it straight. I'm going to call update action. And again, this is probably not the most optimal way to design this server, but again, it's just to get our feet wet, just to get us started. API update, like this. Okay, that's fine. Now I'm going to make a local function. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Let's put a try catch. Let's encapsulate all this in a try catch. I'll contain my functionality in the try catch. It might be prone to some exceptions depending on things. I don't know what's happened there. So oops. Okay, cool. So I'm going to make a local function called API update. And let's place this outside of my using block. Void API updates. And I'm going to call API request action. And I do have a note here where you can place, I could say server, I don't want to say server logic, but every time the update is, this API update is being called, you can place certain functionality in this block, depending on how you structure it, but I'm not going to comment that in. But if we do go through debugging, you'll see how that works. Task, make sure I did that right. Sorry, this is a mistake. That should be API request action. This function I don't think has been made yet. I'll make an API request. So now we're going to make another one, another function. I'm going to copy the title of the method name, just to save some time. I'll go through the parameters from my notes. So private async static, system threading task value task on API response received. I'm passing the parameters iTelegram bot client, API response event args, and a cancellation token. Okay. And all we're doing is we're going to have our local function called void API update. Again, the way I'm structuring this is as you get a bit more vertical into this, you can then play around with the functionality of your server. So I'm just kind of setting certain things up. That's why you get some of these shell functions. If I could say response, API response action is being called here. We'll leave that there. Also, debugging will expose the trace. So now for the error stuff. So private async static task error occurred. Telegram bot, iTelegram bot client, exception, you want to pass exception, and you want to pass a cancellation token as well. And for this, you want to write using task is assigned new task. And you're going to pass your error action. Keyboard's messing up a little bit. Error action. Where am I? So update action is assigned. I'm passing this functionality, and I have my member, which is chat exception patch. I'm not sure where I made that. I don't remember making that one. Probably something I copied from my notes. There we go. Have a quick look at that. Not yet. Okay, cool. It doesn't work. Okay, it's because we're about to make this as a local function. Oh, okay. Let me check something in my notes. Fascinating. So I'm going to add here an await call. And if I'm not mistaken, this await prevents blocking from multiple API calls. Oops, I did that wrong. Task. Okay, that should be fine for now. That task should be for this. Using, so this, whoops, put it in the wrong place. Put this in my using block. And then void, I'm going to make a local function, chat exception catch. I'm going to call chat exception. I'm going to make an assignment rather. Exception equals exception like this. Okay. Error should go away soon. Okay, now we're going to go to like the main functionality of the server. Let's get started. So what I'm about to show you guys is what happens when you get like a message from the Telegram client and how you can respond to, say, write a message back to your Telegram client. So I'm going to just bring this in, and I'm going to type out what we need. So we're going to need another method, private static async task update received, Telegram bot Telegram bot client. We also need a update type. We also need a cancellation token as per usual. Kind of getting towards the end of this particular functionality. We're getting there. We're going to need another using block. First we're going to have a try block with a catch. Try catch. Okay, and I'm going to have a using task. It's assigned to a new task. And I'm going to pass update action. Excellent stuff. Right, so now looking at my notes here, let's just put this in and make sure I'm doing this okay. Should be fine. Again, this might be more for debug purposes because I'm counting the update array, and because of 0 indexing, that's why I'm minusing 1, which is probably not optimal because if I get 0 I get a minus value, it index outside array dimension error. But again, this is just fundamental stuff we can always gloss over for now. Update chat. And then you want to also include the following: Telegram bot client, assign update request. Now this is where the chat processing can come into play. You can consider adding your chat functionality, your chat processing stuff here. Let's say, for example, if, let's have an if statement, chat update message text, oops, did that completely wrong, message text is equal to, let's just say, say hi bot. So if we write this in our Telegram chat, then we want some kind of response from the server. So hi bots. Checking my notes quickly. Okay, cool. And to prevent some, I'm gonna put some validation stuff here to prevent potential double posting. So the way, because what tends to happen is if you need to sort of make sure that you don't get this double posting thing. And if you've worked with Telegram bot API, you probably know what I'm talking about. So the way I want to handle it in this context is I'm just gonna store my messages in a discrete buffer. Do I have that message buffer? I think I deleted it. That's what I'm looking for. One second, guys. I'm gonna just quickly refer to my notes. I had a member here right at the top, and I didn't include it, did I? Turns out I did need this. Okay, I don't want to throw off the tutorial, so I'm not going to include it, just in case people are watching this in a certain way. If I do definitely need it, I was going to just include a line up here at the very top, but I think it will confuse the tutorial. So for now, I'm going to just leave this validation as it is. It might get multiple posts, but then I can always include the failsafe afterwards. So I'll get back to things. So I'm just trying to find where I'm in my notes. Sorry, guys. Excellent. So now, if I write hi bot, I want to send a message. So I want to await Telegram bot client send text message async. As you can see here, we'll call this function from the Telegram bot API, and there's a lot of members to complete, a lot of parameters, but not too much. So I'm going to write them in quickly. We need a chat update dot message dot chat. We need the chat ID basically. We need a message to send, so I'm going to write as a string hi there. So then this is the bot talking back. You might have like preset messages stored in a list or something like that, depending on the setup of your server. And I'm gonna just put no for the rest. So no, 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 no. Oops. There's one more no and then a default. So I'm not too sure. Might be wrong on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more no I need. Okay. Message buffer. I'm not really dealing with a message buffer right now, so I don't need. I'm just looking at my notes. Sorry guys, just going through my notes to make sure things are correct. Okay, I think that's all we need for now. So now we're going to deal with this update chat. We're going to make a local function outside of the using block. It's going to be void update chat. And we're going to just write chat update assigned to update array. We're going to just assign our chat to our array structure, basically. Count -1 And then to catch, we're gonna have one line here. Chat update array update array dot count. Just in case this up here froze, then we know we can rectify our mistake, because it will probably be to do with this -1. Although we should have a separate try catch here for that. Should really encapsulate the entirety of this, assuming this. But again, this is just somewhat of a gloss over to just get the fundamentals out of the way for my server. Okay. Towards the end now. So now we need to kind of call our functionality in a sense. There's a few more functions we need to make, not a lot. Let's quickly see where this is. Update received. Where am I? Private, so you want to make a new function, private static, telegram dot types updates, update from API. Okay, soon we'll be demoing this application. Okay, update list. Yeah, this will be quite useful if you want to keep a record of your updates, your update instantiations. Update request get update async. I think I have offset member, I'm not sure. Yeah, offset no, I'm gonna pass another no and another no, and then cancellation token. Yes. Update array. Tablet over there. Update array is assigned. Update list dot results. And then I'm returning my update array over here. So as you can see, my update type isn't of update array, and I'm returning that here. Oh, did I do that right? No, I did that wrong. So update array. Key space, it's easy to see. Not long now, we've got a few more to do. So now we're going to deal with our polling clock. Public void update. So every time our dispatcher timer ticks, we're calling this particular function update delegate underscore tick. Alright, sweet. And I'm going to call update delegate. That's all. Oops. Update delegate. Okay. And then we're nearly at the end. Private void update chat. Update count equals update array dot count -1. So we want to accommodate for 0 indexing. So just a potentially useful function over here. Public async, our next function. Void refresh chat update. Oops. Make sure I close my parentheses correctly, that's fine. And then say chat update, update array dot count. Again, using the dimensions of my array over here. And then I'm awaiting update received. And then I'm going to pass in update request chat update the new cancellation token. This. Sweet, very nearly there. Last function, I think, before we start to kind of test things out. Private async. Oh, this is the this is the dispatcher timer ticking function, I believe. So it's going to be update underscore tick. I was wondering why there was no references above. Object of type object sender, or rather passing object sender to objects, object e, for the signature of my function. Should be a reference there that pops up at the top. Try. And then now we're going to pass, I'm going to check for updates. Update delegate underscore tick. That's what this is for. Oh. Why this is going on like that. Oh, I did something, my parentheses are wrong, I think. It's very strange, I don't know what's going on there. I'll double check that soon. Update delegate tick underscore, oh no, sorry, delegate underscore tick. This. So I'm calling my function above, right here. Update delegate is being called. And I want to update the global update chat array count value. So I'm going to write update chat, which we've already defined above. And then I want to update the update chat object. And then again, made this function just now, refresh chat update. Okay, nearly at the end. And then one last line for the main functionality, I think, and then we're almost done. I'm going to do some testing, some light testing. Update. Update async. I'm going to pass update request, chat update, and cancellation token. Awesome stuff. Alright, we've kind of reached the end of the file here. Now let's sort out a couple of these errors. Oh yeah, I'm missing a catch. So I'm going to have a catch with no functionality for now. Again, this is just a lightweight example server, so we're not going to do anything here. We have a mismatch for our signature, which is a bit strange. I'm going to double check I did that right. What line is this? Line 29. Let me just scroll this up a little bit so I can see it easier. No overload for on API. Small matches delegate func. Cancel func. So these don't have matching signatures. So what is this expecting? I'll check my notes as well to cross-reference. Sorry guys, 1 second. Second one down on making API request. So this wants iTelegram bot client, API request event args, cancellation token, and value task. So I'm going to go here, see what I'm passing. iTelegram bot client, API request Oh, okay, I got it wrong. So that should be not response. That should be request. Request. Sorry, guys. And I think that will sort that out. I got my cancellation token. Am I missing the value task? Let me check my notes. 9179. Where am I? I still think the overload doesn't match, but I might be wrong on that. On API response. Where am I? Yeah, so it's just those. Oh no, so it is actually iTelegram bot clients, API response, event args. Yeah, that's correct actually. Fascinating. So I'm not too sure why I'm getting an error. Let's double check that. Maybe this should be response, because they should match. Yeah, I think that is what it is. Because in my notes I got API response event args, but here I believe I wrote API request event args. Let me change that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I think that's fixed my error there. Okay, let's see what else do we have here. We have 4 more errors. API request does not exist. So we should have a function here about line 160. I just double check my notes. Value task on making API request. Let's see where I have on making API request. And then I have API request over here. Now where should this be? I'm just gonna quickly see where this is. Just off screen, sorry guys. Sifting through my notes. Here we go. I think I missed it out. So about line 219. Looks like I missed something out. So API update. There should be a function called API update. I'm not sure. Looks like I missed some things. Oh, so establish bot connection. API update. Let me see. API request. Oh, I think it's just the form. I think that R. I put API with a small r. I don't know if it's to do with the case sensitivity, but that's not being picked up or something. Let me just double check that. Yeah, because I spelled it with a big R. It should be a little r. So I'm gonna change that. There we go. My error should disappear. Okay, update async. What's going on here? Update request. Okay, update async. So about line 233. Let's check in my notes. Update from API. I did see that on my notes earlier. Oh, towards the bottom. Okay, sweet. Update request. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Oh, because I forgot, I didn't spell updates correctly. I missed the S. So I'm going to do that there, and I should be okay. Take a sip of my water. Got 2 more errors. Okay, right at the bottom. Check my notes again. Refresh charts. Oh, that should be update request. I don't know how I wrote this all wrong. What was I launching? Chat. That should be also chat update. And I think that's all my errors sorted out. So now, guys, I'm going to run my server and hopefully we get some interactivity. First things first, I need to make sure I'm passing the bot token. So there's no references to my established bot token. So I want to call this function in my main. Yeah, that's right. So if I go to my XAML page, I want to create an event for my button such that when you click the button, I then call establish bot connection. Where's my button? Right here, which I've named establish bot connection button. I'm going to go to the lightning mark, the lightning icon, I'm going to hit click. Again, guys, if you want, leave in the comments if you want a copy of this source file, either on one of my websites pertaining towards learning C# or on my GitHub, and I'll make sure to update stuff. Because I know following through is a little difficult without resources sometimes. So anyway, okay, that doesn't work so far. So what I'm going to do, I need to reference my namespace, which is bot server. Do I need to instantiate that namespace? I don't think so. I might need to instantiate my class. So bot server bot connect equals new bot connect. Instantiating the class we just wrote that we spent the majority of this tutorial writing up. What's this? Bot connect. Oh, obviously I didn't give it a name. Say bot connect like this. And then I'll say bot connect. Establish bot connection up there. And I want to pass my token, which I'm going to get from my password box. So in my XAML, I actually have a password box. So actually, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to see where it should come up on IntelliSense. Can't remember what I named it. Main password box, I think that's it. Dot password. So whatever I pass into my UI should then get passed to my function here. And guys, I think that's just about it for this section. I'm going to test my software. I have a few warnings here. I'm not going to worry about these so far. I'm going to save my work and I'm going to hit local machine. I'm going to run my app. I do happen to have Telegram. Let me see if I can make some space here. Let me see if I can get Telegram up. I'm just off screen, guys, while my app is running in the background. Wait for my app to load. My computer's been a little bit slow today. But yeah, we should be nearing the end of this walkthrough soon, hopefully, if we don't have any bugs. Might have some notable bugs, but the essential idea is we want to get that interactivity with our Telegram bot client working. So I'll just wait for my app to run before I drag Telegram up. It's going to take a little minute. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some functional errors in my code. It was literally one time coding through, but it might still run first time. But if there's any issues, we can go into debugging mode and see what needs to be done. So I'm just waiting for UWP to load. It's taking a hot minute. Okay. Click on the screen, see if that speeds things up. Okay, the green bar is fully loaded. Okay, I think my app is loading up now. Again, the UI is very minimal, as you'll see soon. See my window over there. But again, it's the functionality I want to demonstrate. So I'm on my C# walkthroughs bot, just like a test bot that I have right now. Put my Telegram session here. Can I make it smaller? Nah, that's fine. Don't need to. Just I'll leave it like this. And there was a message. It was hi bot, right? If I write hi bot, then I should get a message. Let me go to my bot connect class. Actually, I don't want to interrupt this too much. I'll wait for things to load. Oh, let me get my bot token ready. So I'll just go off screen. My bot token written down. Let's wait for my app to load. Obviously there's more to load. I did load this application first time already, but obviously there's less to pre-compile kind of thing, less to compile. I wrote code now, so it's going to take a little minute, but now here we go. It's my password box, as you can see. There's my button. Do excuse me. Let's get my window up and running. Let me just test the password box feature. There we go. Let's keep things anonymous. Put my bot token in. Here we go. And let's hope this works. So I'm going to hit establish bot connection. Now I don't know if I have to speak to the bot first. So I'm going to write, I think the message was hi, comma bot, exclamation mark. I'm going to write that. Now I'm going to establish bot connection. See what happens. What's going to happen? Oh dear, what's going to happen here? Let's see if anything happens here. If not, we can always debug. So my app is just parsing through. Looks like we might hit a snag. Just waiting for Visual Studio to catch up so I can see what's going on. Okay. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Okay, that's fascinating. Very fascinating. What is the null object? Is it our chat update? Maybe I'm evaluating this before it's ready, but then it is in a try catch, so I can take out this break setting so it doesn't break when this is hit. But I want to just go onto my watch list. I'm going to put chat update there to just check what's going on. It is null. So I'm wondering. It's fascinating because when I call this, I should technically be instantiating this. I'm going to leave a debug breakpoint here. And then get rid of this so it doesn't break in a try catch. Like, it doesn't make sense. I'm going to hit continue. Let's see what happens. Visual Studio. I'm just waiting for Visual Studio to run. Okay. So it looks like the app is running. There's no nothing's going on there. Index was outside the bounds of the array. So again, I did suspect this might be a bit, having that -1 might be an issue. But the good news is chat update is not null at this point. Do we want to get rid of that -1? Well, what I can do, I don't think I need that -1, because if I have the count takes into account 0 indexing, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. If there's 0, then there'll be 0, but I'm hitting -1, hence why I'm outside the index of the array. So what I'll do, I will close off this bracket, my square bracket. Oops. Oh, what's going on? Keyboard's not inputting for some reason. Not too sure what's going on there. Usually I can just edit. Very interesting. I don't know why that's happening. I'm going to stop the program quickly. glad to see chat update is not null at this point. This is good news. So what I'm gonna do, square bracket, and I'm gonna comment this out with my semicolon. I have more -1s like one over here. Update count, update array. I'm gonna do the same thing here, just to avoid these index issues. Maybe this logic made sense at the time of making my notes, but for now, I'm getting errors, so I'm just going to comment that out, and I'm going to run my program again. Hopefully we get something going on. So I'll wait for Visual Studio, wait for UWP to load. But the main thing, which is quite exciting, is that we actually got up to this bit where I'm evaluating the message.text. So we just need this to not be null, which I think happens on the next cycle. For timing reasons, perhaps, is why this still appeared as null before it could evaluate this line over here. I'm not too sure, but that's what I'm thinking. So I think with just a little bit of time for the, should I say, the server to sort of catch up, then I'm hoping my chat update will then not be null. And obviously it will come through, and besides, it will come through by way of an update from the chat, as you can see, hi bot, and then it will evaluate this line again. So I'm hoping that's what happens. Because I am using a polling clock that's ticking every 100 milliseconds. So this is always getting evaluated every 100 milliseconds. Let me just quickly get my bot token again. Let's wait for my app to load. Make it a little bigger. Alright, let's wait for this to load. So I'm gonna paste in my bot token, and I'm gonna establish bot connection and see what happens. Okay, so I'm hitting this, update chat update, again it's this count thing. Chat update is null at the moment, so I might need a try catch there. Can I interact with my code at this point? Usually I can, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, just like that. I can see that chat update is null, but I have a try catch over here, so I should be fine. But then this might throw again because chat update is still null. So I'm thinking of just leaving this as it is, because this is the same as that. So I'm going to comment that out. I'm going to continue my code. Studio just catching up. Just waiting for the code updates. Okay, I'm going to process out and start again. Okay, this will just take about a minute to load. It's because I updated the try catch. That's why I had to restart it. Usually you can just edit code on debug breaks, but when it comes to try catch, you do have to restart your application, as it says down there. Okay. UWP is taking a minute to load. Let me just quickly copy my bot token again to my clipboard. And again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I can include the source file, copy of the source file on one of my web pages or my GitHub. Just let me know in the comments if you need that. connection is loading up. Alright, I'm going to enter my bot token. I'm going to hit establish bot connection and see what happens. Alright, so chat update. Go to my watch list. Well, I am assigning chat update here, so it shouldn't be null after this, depending if there is an update available, which there isn't. So I go straight to the catch. I'm gonna hit continue. Maybe it hasn't passed any updates yet. I should even have sent a message before establishing connection, I guess. Okay, so my server went through technically. As you can see, it's checking for updates continually, and now we have something. So chat update is not null anymore. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get rid of this breakpoint, and I'm going to go up to evaluating the text. Actually, I think it's down. I'm not sure where I'm going. Where am I supposed to go? Somewhere here. Yeah, this bit. So I'm gonna go here on line 213. I'm gonna hit continue. Index outside the bounds of the array. Okay. So there's one update in my array. So I have an array element in my array, and there's my chat ID, as you can see. I'm gonna go hit message and see what comes up. I'm not sure if this is accurate. There's my name. Hopefully you can see it says Wheels. That's my Telegram name. So it is pulling my information. So the server is up and running. It's good to know. So let's try and get things working beyond these try catches. So we have an index outside of the bounds array. So I don't actually understand why that's happening. Chat update. But then again, oh, of course, because this is what happens. So because it's zero index, that's why I had the -1. Sorry guys. So what I'm gonna do actually, I know what's going on. This is a bit weird. I don't know, I might have to restart the application, but I don't know if visualstudio will allow me to do this. Okay, so because I have one element, I need to refer to it with a 0, not a 1, which is the count. Hence why I did the -1. So in that respect, I'm gonna have a try catch. And then I'm going to simply have this functionality, copy it. I'm going to copy my functionality, but I'm going to then include this -1 bit. Because now that we do have an element, we do have to accommodate for 0 indexing, because a count of 1 will come out as 1 when we need it as 0, if that makes sense. Maybe not the most elegant code, but should work for now. Go straight back into my code. We might have more instances of this situation, like over here I can see, where we're assigning to update array count. Well, the update array dot count. But it doesn't matter too much, because this is not actually extracting the update within the array. Maybe somewhere else, I'm not too sure. Alright, let's wait for UWP to load. If my computer doesn't crash, I'm just going to go off screen. Don't want to do too much on my laptop. Like, this laptop is fairly old. I need to upgrade soon. Eesh, yeah, I'm not going to touch that. Alright, I'm going to do one thing at a time here. The main thing, guys, that we've established is a connection with the server and the Telegram client. Hopefully you recall just now, my name came up, my Telegram name came up on the application. So I'm getting the right chat update, the right chat ID, and now we just have to get the message that I wrote, hi bots, and just process that to get our response. And then guys, with this fundamental code base, you can then start to really be creative with your own Telegram bot servers. So I'm just waiting for my build to start. Not sure how long this will take, maybe like a few more seconds. Not too long. Here we go. Okay, sweet. Make my screen a little bigger, my window. Waiting for UWP to load. Here we go. Alright, let me get my bot token off screen. And I enter my bot token. Establish bot connection. Okay. UWP just taking a minute. Okay, index outside the bounds. So again, we'll have this issue, which break on this exception. Okay, I see what's going on. So this is probably no. Well, it's not no. Update array. What's the count? 0. Okay, so I wonder why this threw in the first place. In any case, I'm going to get rid of this exception setting. Let's see what happens. Don't want to edit this try cap, so I don't have to restart the application just yet. Okay, yeah, I thought this might happen. So because there was a count of 0, but there was nothing in there. So this initially doesn't work. So I'm a bit worried about. It's about timing it. So I have a little idea. I'm going to try and speak to the bot before I hit establish bot connection on my UI. So hopefully I can invoke an update instance as I try to parse my chat update member. So I'm getting some like timing issues, I suspect. Just this slightly. Interesting. Unless if I have another block here that says like if update count is 0, then I can just return the whole function, so I can bypass all my functionality. I think I'll do that because I don't want to evaluate my function if there's nothing in my array. So I can just evaluate for my array being at 0 and return the function as it is, because it's a void function. I don't have to worry about anything. And then once the function, my array is populated, then I don't have to worry about that functionality. I'll show you what I mean, guys. So once more, I'm gonna write hi, comma, bots. Like this. I'm going to go to my UI, make sure I've got my bot token. I'm going to place my bot token in the field. I'm going to hit the button. Yeah, I'm not going to be in my try catch, so that should be fine. Yeah, okay, cool. Otherwise, I'll have to restart the application. I might have to still restart the application, I'm not too sure. So I'll be like, if if my update array dot count equal to 0, and I just want to simply return what am I doing here? Yeah, that's fine. Try this. I might have to do a null check as well, just to be safe, because I might have no objects flying around. I'll just wait for Visual Studio. I'm still outside the bounds. Oh, that's fascinating. So now there's something there. Ah, that's fascinating. Okay, so this should work now, because now that we have my failsafe, count makes us outside the bounds because there is one object there. If I highlight this, it says it's really hard to see, guys, but my update array has one element. So I'm gonna -1 from that count to hit 0, and then this should just go through. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna press F11 effectively, press this button. And step one more time. And there we go. So I'm going to get rid of this break. I think I set another break up here, and I'm going to hopefully hit this bit with a message to evaluate. Okay, nothing's happened so far. Fascinating. I'm going to see what's going on. And the application is a little bit slow, but that's not a problem right now. We just want to get the functionality working. I was supposed to do the dispatcher timer running in the background so fast. There are ways around that. So the question is, why is this not firing? So let me see what's going on at the very top. Update received. Let me try talking to the bot one more time. Oh, we got something. Okay, let's step through. It might be something I feel like I'm throwing around here. So update count. I think it's the same issue. So count is probably like 0, and I'm going out of bounds. Yeah, I thought so. So I'm gonna try the same failsafe. Probably have to restart the application. Update array. I'm gonna put it outside the try, so I don't have to, hopefully don't have to restart my app. So if update array count is equal to 0, we don't even want to evaluate any of this. There's nothing to evaluate, so we're just gonna return the function. Otherwise, if we do get down here, we know we have an element to, we have an update array element to process. I'm gonna put a break over there and get rid of this one. I'm gonna hit continue. Okay, I'm back. Right. Let me just move that out of the way. Try talking to my bot. See, and then immediately we have something. Just as I did that, got an update. So let's scan through this. Hopefully it works. So chat update is available. Chat update is not null, which is a good sign. Let's hope this doesn't cause issues. Update array is 1, so now we're minusing 1 from 1. So we induced our failsafe, so this should be fine. hopefully. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just hit continue. Hopefully we get straight to this. In fact, let me see if I can evaluate the text with IntelliSense. So text says hi bot. As you might or might not be able to see, but IntelliSense is showing me that the message to evaluate is hi bot, is what I wrote in the chat message. So let me just hit continue. Let me get rid of this one, and let me hit continue one more time. So close. It might be something to do with this update chat. Why are we calling update chat? I'm wondering to myself. If we have the update that we need. I'm going to go back. Let me see. Message.text. Hi bot. I think it's this 214 is an issue. Update chat. Okay, I see what's going on now. Now I'm getting the index out of bound array. I don't know why I'm doing this here. We don't need this. If possible, hopefully I don't have to restart the app. I'm going to comment that out. Because I'm getting index out of bounds arrays and I'm throwing like exceptions. Okay, so if I just continue, see what happens. Hopefully I go to, yeah, here we go. So if text hi bot is equal to hi bot, I'm going to go down. Yep. Then send this text message hi there. So I'm going to bring this up. Hopefully we get a message from the bot. So I'm going to get rid of these breaks. I'm going to hit continue. And as you can see, guys, hi there is popping up. Now, it is a bit glitchy. We're getting multiple hi there's. Remember, I did mention about dealing with validation, so we don't have multiple posts. But as you can see, the server is responding. And by using simple, I'll say fairly simple logic, we can then, avoid double posting. But I didn't really want to go through the double posting thing too early, but here we go. Hi bot, hi there. So we've reached the end of this tutorial. I hope, guys, let me just cancel that. Let me quickly just stop the application from running. If you follow this tutorial generally one-to-one, then you should get the same results. You should have some response from the Telegram server. I will have a version of this code on one of my websites, if not on my GitHub, such that you can study it and utilize it for your own Telegram servers. Guys, I hope you found this episode informative, if not entertaining. And thanks for tuning in. I'm going to quickly check my dashboard to see if there's any questions. And if not, I'm going to tune out. Quickly check. This was quite a fun tutorial. One of my longer tutorials. And yeah, that's about it, guys. So I hope you found this tutorial informative. Oh, what we got here? Hi, bro. I want to play games in Telegram browser, but it can't play and must be played on the mobile. How to pass it? So, sorry if I kept you waiting, by the way. According to the Telegram API, you can run Telegram browser games. You do need to have a slight foundation in HTML5, I believe. Let me see if I can find for you the Telegram bot documentation. My computer is running, like doing a million things at once, so it might not come up. But if it does, I'm going to quickly just Google it. Maybe I'll make another tutorial on that, how to do HTML5 games based on Telegram. It's definitely something that is doable. Not something I'm covering in this tutorial, but I will try and get the documentation up right now. Do bear with me. I'm off screen. It's just taking a hot minute. My computer's a bit slow right now. Here we go. Google.com, and I'm going to just drag the screen over so you can see. Sorry about this wait, guys. Just bear with me 1 minute. Okay, my web browser is just loading. If it doesn't load on time, I'll use my phone or something. Just to give you guys an idea, so Telegram bot API, documentation, HTML, make sure I write that right, 5 games. And I'll just drag the window to the main screen. Alright, Telegram APIs. Do apologize for the slowness here. Sweetness, so I'm going to drag this window over so you can see. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you can just about make that out. I'm just going to maximize the screen. So obviously it's possible. Bots can offer users HTML5 games to play solo or to compete against each other in groups and one-to-one chats. The way I believe this works, this is literally me just eyeballing this. You make the game on HTML5, put it up on a server, and you just literally reference the game in Telegram. I think that's as simple as that. So you need to know, as it says here, boss can directly send the game using message.sendMedian, providing the game's short name obtained from the bot father or from a game link to input game short name.short_name, and the current bot's info is set to input game short name.bot_id. And what I'll do, I'll leave a link in the description after this stream so you can find this. As you can see, I just copied it there and I'll put it in the description after the stream. But everything's here in documentation. Let me know in the comments if you want me to cover that. I'm not going to cover it in this particular tutorial because of time. But yeah, it's all here. It's very possible to do that. And yeah, that's everything. Guys, thanks so much for joining me for this really exciting stream. And I hope to see you guys next time. Give me some ideas in the comments what you want to see next with Telegram bot API servers. See you later and bye-bye.